Hi, I'm John the Mouse. In this video, we're going to talk about the best time to start a trucking business. This is some of the stuff I go over in detail at John the Mouse University. With better information, you can make better decisions, not only on your transportation business, but on your personal transportation. So, let's roll into it. I think the best time to start a business is when you're ready. That's the really short answer. My course is all about getting you more information to help you along your transportation journey. As a new business owner, you'll make mistakes. And in my experience, mistakes are always cost money. We will talk about that in another section about capital and financing options. First, starting out, you're going to have limited knowledge, capital, and limited experience. But you have the power within you to change all that. As of right now, you're watching a video that's going to help expand your knowledge from my experience. Every company in the world needs to start acquiring the right assets to make it. Lucky for you, your company has acquired you as the most valuable asset it has. The best time to pick up any other asset for your company's needs is during a recession. This cycle repeats every 7 to 10 years. Not every recession is the same, but you'll need to be prepared for it. If it does hit your market area, be willing and be able to adapt. Companies and people will overexpand during the good times. They will take on more debt than they can actually handle when times get tough. The people that have over-leveraged in debt will sell off anything of whatever price that they can get to pay the banker off. And the ones that lose everything, the bank will sell their assets to get whatever they can get for it. And if you have the capital to pick up all these cheap assets up, this is where the real wealth is made. Or buying out your competition that was competing against you. And if you understand the cycles, you can prepare for it by building up extra capital to use during these times of economic downturn. I know it might be hard to believe. That's the time when you should start your business, is when a lot of other companies are going bankrupt. Let's look at the Yellow Trucking Company. It has been in business for 100 years in the trucking industry, and they filed for bankruptcy. Most of the companies end up having too much debt and not enough capital to maintain operation of the business. The Company Man channel on YouTube breaks down a lot of the companies that have went out of business in the past. In the Yellow Trucking Company, the union played a big part in its demise. They have a lawsuit against the union, and if you want to read through some of the paperwork, feel free to. In this video, that's as far as we're going to go on about the union. All I know is they did not help their members in helping them lose their jobs. But let's look into some of Yellow's Trucking Company's assets that are up for auction. Notice this is a 1 year later and they're still selling off assets. As far as I know, the way this looks, they have enough value in assets that will cover all of their debt they had. We will look at a couple of the day cabs and what they're going for at auction, and we will compare a few that are on the market and see the difference in the money you can save. The first truck we have is a 2021 Peterbilt 579 day cab with 263,405 miles. The price bid was $11,500. The next truck has more miles, a 2020 Peterbilt 579 day cab with 482,356 miles, priced at $14,000. The next truck is a used truck to compare. It does have a bigger pack car motor in it. It's older with more miles on it, asking for more money for it. It's a 2018 Peterbilt 579 day cab with 471,000 miles. Price is $37,500. Now, to compare for price of a new truck, this is one that the closest I could get to the specs of the other trucks. This is a 2024 Peterbilt 567 day cab for $159,347. There's quite a bit of difference in price here of a new truck versus one from the auction. By finding deals like this, keeps your operating expense lower than everybody else that you are competing with in the market. By having more expensive equipment, you need to operate at a higher rate per mile during times like this, and that's hard to get. The faster you can start operating in the black, the faster you can build capital to grow your business down the road. I'm going to run over a couple more ideas for you to think about. If you have the capital, you should consider getting 2 trucks at this cheaper price. As you know, these trucks come as is at the auction place. Now, there is a chance now one of the trucks will have problems. That's why it's a good idea always to check them out before you bid on them. You have increased your chances that one of them right off the bat will have no problems. The other truck you could use as parts if you need to. You could just have to make sure you got the same truck with the same specs, and with most bigger trucking companies, they will order more than one truck with the same specs. Now, if you don't use the other one for truck parts, you could also fix up the non-running truck as you're driving the other truck. That'll give you a couple more options. If you have problems, you can go to the other truck while it's getting fixed. You can always end up getting another driver to drive the other truck. This all depends on your unique situation. Just another idea to think about. Depending on what your transportation business is, you might need more capital to get a trailer or more for operating your business. I'm just touching on the semis in this section, but this applies for any vehicle in the transportation business that you're looking at running. This is why it's important to do some research on different vehicles. Then you can choose the one that fits your transportation business the best. One skill that will come very helpful to you in the transportation business is working on your vehicles, becoming a mechanic of sorts. I have spent my fair share of time waiting for trucks to get fixed. It's always amazing how something simple can take hours for the shop to fix. The other thing I've been running more into is it's hard to get parts for your vehicle. This is where many would say that's why you need a brand new vehicles, so they don't break down. This is where I'm going to have to tell you that this is not the case. These new trucks break down quite a bit for being new. From talking to quite a few drivers and seeing it with my own eyes, these new vehicles always have bugs in them that need to be worked out. The repair costs might be covered. Your loss of the load and time cost you. And let's not forget that the week that your truck is sitting in the shop, you still have to pay the higher insurance and the higher payment on the truck. We'll discuss this more in another section of the course. In other parts of my course, I will run through some simple repairs in other parts of my course you should learn to do. Depending on what type of transportation you're doing, you might learn different skills might be appropriate to keep you ahead of your competition. We will discuss this in another section. The next section, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of running against your competition in the transportation business.